consuming applications to 0.
Joey, the show is starting. It's time to shh now. Okay. Welcome. It's Wednesday. It's time for Attack of the Androids. attackoftheandroids.com/live if you got the stomach to join us live. I feel free. I join us live. I like it. It's good. Eric's nodding his head no. I'm getting some yeses, some nos. So, hey, you might like it, you might not. attackoftheandroids.com, that's the site. So check it out, and we'll start our show.
We've been warned about the little green men. Now, they are coming. They're coming for you. Prepare for the attack of the Android.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, August 5th, 2015. It's episode 164. Attack of the Androids. Got a whole giant, big old full house. Talk about Android this week. Eric Finkenbeiner joining us first. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Matt. Good morning, good evening, good night.
Good night, Eric. Glad to have you here with us. Joey also joining us. Joey Kelly, what's up, man?
Good evening, everybody. Great to be back with you after a week off. Let's get some Androidiness out there.
Androidiness. Nick Carroll joining us. What's up, Nick?
Hey, guys. Glad to be back. Haven't seen you guys in a while. Good to be on.
Good to have you on the Chromebook. Shane Brady also joining us. I want to believe too, Shane, but I can't.
Well, it's a good week to believe in Android. There's a lot of news and a lot of cool things coming.
Very cool. Eric, please start us off with what is cool and what is news coming. Nintendo DS. Perhaps? Shield tablet update?
I think we should talk Shield tablet, and I know that Shane's going to have something to say about this too. So the Shield got an update to, this would be like 5.1.1, and it came with a bevy of small improvements, one of which is that if you go into one of the settings menu, it'll tell you what type of battery you have. And by that I mean like it has like it'll say like you have battery B01 or you have battery Y01. Ask me why that's relevant, Matt Lee.
Eric, why is that relevant, Matt Lee?
Because, Matt Lee, if you have battery Y01, then it might just explode.
It explodes?
Explodes.
I was hoping. I was guessing. Has yours exploded?
It has not.
Are you working on it?
Damn.
I'm trying.
Have you put it in the microwave yet?
That might be my problem.
Well,
I've tried everything except for the microwave.
Well, there you go.
Well,
And
NVIDIA
this, kids,
has,
is why we tell you not to try this at home.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Eric
just
could,
like Mythbusters.
Eric could try it.
Yeah, try it at your friend's house, preferably, not yours.
Well, it looks like 83,000 tablets sold in the U.S. and 5,000 in Canada are affected by this, and there have been 4 reports of batteries overheating due to thermal runaway, which just sounds awesome. It sounds really, really safe, guys.
Sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
It's the name of my new punk rock hip hop fusion band.
There we go.
Sure, that's what happens when like meltdown occurs and that exponential shit starts happening, and then
That should be the name of your new album, Matt.
Yeah. I'll add that to the list of other shitty names I have for my new album, but it's towards the top of that list, I'll tell you. So what's the fix, Eric? A simple software update, perhaps?
Oh, negative. So what you do, you go to settings, you go to that neat little status thing that shows you your battery type, and if it has Y01 on there, which is the bad battery, you tap that, and you then go through this back and forth process of putting information into a recall website, and they send you an email saying, hey, in 2 to 4 weeks we're going to send you another tablet. But just to be safe, you should turn off your tablet and not use it until such time as you get the new tablet.
They actually tell you that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
the best part, and I'll let Shane get to it, but with me, I just wanted to do a factory reset on mine before I did this because I don't want my stuff out there. I swear to God, the thing like bricked itself, and then it sat like
explode. Will you make it do the runaway nuclear thing?
I kept feeling it like a baby, like a baby's forehead. It had a fever. I kept feeling it, and it wasn't hot.
Sitting on her eggs, like waiting.
Back of the hand.
Oh man.
But it's literally sat on a black screen for like a day, and then after a day, it finally popped up with a little Android with his little ears twitching and said, "We're erasing your tablet now." It's ghetto. It's scary, and I would love to hear what happened with Shane's.
Well,
Real quick, will you remind us what we're talking about? Which tablet for me and everyone else?
I'm sorry, the NVIDIA Shield tablet.
Oh, right, the gaming one. That's okay, cool.
And although I know it's the best Android tablet out there, in my estimation.
Probably my next one.
Yeah, you should wait for the 2. But what Eric also didn't mention yet is that when you get your new tablet, whenever that is, as soon as you activate the new one, your old one gets deactivated. So I'm wondering if that's what happened to Eric's, that it got deactivated prematurely. So for me, I just turned it off. I haven't touched it since, and I'm having to go back to the Nexus 2013 if I want to have a usable tablet.
I ended up going back to my wife's old Nexus 10, which is surprisingly snappy, I must say. It's a very, very nice tablet still. And it got the update to 5.1.1, so how the hell is that? Like, what's that about? The tablet's like 3 years old. So.
Yeah, so you're on 5.1, and the Nexus 9, that garbage tablet I sold you, is still working out okay?
My wife loves her Nexus 9. I don't know what problems you had with it, but I think it's a great tablet. That's very weird.
No, this will be my third Shield tablet, because the first one, the button, it just wouldn't turn back on after it went to sleep. So I sent it back, and then I got pissed off. And then weeks later, Eric convinced me that I should get the tablet again, so I did. It was garbage for a while. Then I got the 5.1 update, and it's amazing. And then like a month later, the battery's going to explode, so I got to take it back. So I'm hoping to avoid a crap. I hope it's already at 5.1, so I don't have to deal with that when I get it. 2, that I don't have the problem where I can't when I press the power button, it doesn't turn back on. And the other thing is, it makes noise when it does anything. There's a slight little electronic sound in the background, so maybe that'll go away. Or maybe that's the battery starting to overheat, for all I know.
Yeah, it's that thermal runaway. Well, that's really special. I'm glad that we were able to share this experience, Shane.
I wish more people, because it's a really good tablet. I mean, most tablets have garbage speakers. This one has good speakers. It's a great gaming tablet. If you get the little flip case, it actually makes it. Just stands up, like you can. I have the controller too, so you just put it with the flip case, put it in its in the origami shape, lay it back, and you can play games on it. I played surprisingly more hours of gaming on it, streaming from my PC or games local, than I ever expected when I originally got it. And it's a good size for ebooks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I ended up getting the Nexus 9, and I personally enjoyed that, but I thought so long and hard about getting the Shield tablet, but I ended up opting for the Nexus 9. That may have been a better decision, considering the odds of getting potentially the bad one. But I don't know.
Does the Nexus 9 have SD cards? I don't think it does it?
No.
Shield does, and HDMI out.
Yeah, I think the Shield is personally the better tablet overall. But I got suckered into a promotion, like $50 off on the Nexus 9, so I just got jumped on that. So.
Plus, the Shield occupies its space, where surprisingly 8 inches seems to be the best size for a tablet.
Yeah. I mean, it's much more portable. Like I've had the original Nexus 7 for 2 years before I got the Nexus 9, and I really regret. I would have preferred getting an 8-inch tablet for the most part. So, especially with a 16:10 aspect ratio. So go on.
What I think that you're missing, the point that I think you're missing, is that with the NVIDIA Shield tablet, you get a new tablet every couple of months.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas every 2 months.
It's a bonus, a feature.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
love
a
it.
bug, it's a feature.
That's right.
Incidentally, both the 16 and 32 gig versions of the Shield are showing out of stock, not surprisingly, on the NVIDIA store. And according to an investment website, they have recalled 88,000 of these things. I am not a smart man, but I have got to admit that there is no way that is not going to affect the stock price for NVIDIA and I think their parent company as well, because this is just one of those debacles that you can't. There's no cheap way to recover from it. You can't ignore it because then people will sue you for ignoring it. You have to fix it, but you're literally going to take back 88,000 of these darn things and swap the batteries and put them back on.
What's the AOTA consensus? Get one now or wait for the second gen? What do we?
I would still.
I would wait.
Yeah.
Shane, you say wait. Nick, you want one now?
No, I've got an Nexus 9. I'm fine.
Okay. Joey, you want to wait? You want one
I'd
now?
wait. I'd wait. If they're having this many problems with this one, wait.
Eric, would you wait or would you actually get one now?
I'd get 2 now and then see which one explodes first.
Oh, interesting.
Eric, did you have the LTE version or the regular one?
I have the LTE version.
Yeah, that's so do I.
Yeah, I kind of figured with all the traveling you do, you'd want that option.
I actually got it for the storage, 64 gigs of storage.
Yeah, and I will say, like, the whole, like, should I wait, should I not wait, the other thing to keep in mind is that this tablet's going on a year old. We're probably going to see the second version of this. It may actually be good for NVIDIA, because then they can blow through all of their old, all the stock that they have, just fix the problem and do that. The one thing that I think they did very well, though, is if you read all the forums, I don't think this has hurt their brand at all. I mean, this is a huge problem. Pretty much everybody who's bought it in the United States or worldwide has to return it, but like nobody's really pissed at NVIDIA, it seems, because NVIDIA is doing this the right way. They're being very open about it.
Yeah, it's a voluntary recall. Yeah, it's a voluntary recall, not a forced one, so they're getting ahead of it.
I think they have, it's going to hurt their bottom line, certainly, but long term, I think that their brand is still intact, which is probably the more important thing.
Think about it this way: they didn't try to sell a cheap tablet that was obviously cheap. They tried selling something that was on the cutting edge, that had graphics that was top tier for any tablet out there, and front-facing speakers, and they did a lot, right on. I think it also has wireless AC, so it's not a bad tablet at all. It's just there were obviously some defects. So.
Well, what's powerful though is the streaming. The fact you can stream games on it.
Yeah.
And
all these other features.
They have the same technology with the Shield tablet, the Shield TV, which I think Eric also has, which is by far the best Android TV out there. It's not even close. And I was playing games on it, streaming. You just kind of forget that you're streaming over your own network because it runs so smooth. So I think NVIDIA, between the fact that their video card business is probably still doing really well. I think it's gonna. I don't know how much fallout there's going to be from this because, as Eric said, they're doing it the right way. And who knows? Maybe they're just blowing out all inventory they would have to write down at one point anyway. And we also don't know how many total they sold, right? We know they have 88,000 recalls. Maybe they sold way more.
And this may be like the first iteration, perhaps. Maybe the second iteration had different hardware. Although it says Y01 instead of B01, so I'm not sure what the difference was there.
Well, when you get a tablet or a phone, any phone, they source components from everywhere.
Yeah.
So, like even the sensors in phones the camera sensors may not be the same in every S6 you get. Yeah. So I think it was probably they got a bad batch from a company. So.
Well, the time frame though is like from launch up until was it like June or July of this year?
It's a full year.
I mean that's pretty big. My gut tells me that it was probably they realized that there was a problem maybe a couple of months ago, and they started pulling back stock, issuing issuing new tablets, but I gotta think that the bulk of tablets sold within the past year were affected by this, and it's probably, if you have a B01, you probably bought it very recently.
Eric, is this a ticking time bomb waiting to explode on people's laps and in their pockets? Their overly large pockets? Interesting.
Pants on fire, as we say.
For my follow-up question, does the OnePlus 2 work on Verizon?
No! And stop asking! It doesn't work on Verizon. It's never worked on Verizon. It will never work on Verizon.
Why is that, Eric? Exactly.
CDMA?
No, that's not it anymore, because Verizon's LTE.
So, Eric, what if it was an AT&T network? Would that make a piss of a difference?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it would.
What if it was a CDMA AT&T network?
No. There is no such thing. Well, and Shane's right, but in reading the article, it looks like for the XLTE, which they would use for voice, they use band 13, and this does not support band 13 either. So it's like anything that Verizon uses, the OnePlus 2 does not use.
You shouldn't get a OnePlus 2 anyway.
Eric, for another follow-up question, why does Verizon suck so bad?
I'll have to pass that one over to my colleague Matt Lee. Matt Lee, why does the Verizon suck so bad?
Oh, I don't know. It actually was great here until this festival happened, and then like a bunch of people came to town and apparently just crippled the network. It works when I'm the only one using it, but then when tourists...
You're still on Verizon even after you moved?
What? Yeah, because I still have unlimited data, and my contract's not up till like October. Oh, by the balls they get you.
Verizon's just real stingy with what they let on their device, but the Moto X Pure does work on Verizon.
Is that the new one? That's
the one they announced last week. That's the one you should get over the OnePlus 2.
That's the one I'm gonna get when my contract is ready for an upgrade.
Yeah, I've seen some polls comparing those two, and like the Moto X was running away with like 80%, compared to like 20% for the OnePlus 2. So I think a lot of people are making that decision.
I think if you've used active notifications, you pretty much need a phone that has them after. Because, like, going back to a regular phone, like, if I can't wave my hand over the phone real quick and see if there's anything I need to tend to, I don't even want it.
Well, also, the OnePlus 2 doesn't have NFC or wireless charging, and I don't think the Moto X has wireless charging, but at least has NFC, so...
Okay, question. Does anybody actually use NFC, like, regularly?
Yes. Yes, to pay for things.
What?
To pay for things.
Any place that supports NFC terminals I use because I had gone through too many times having to redo all my credit card accounts because some sloppy retailer had a card reader installed in their software and my number's in some library. It's a pain in the ass. So anytime I can use it, I do. And with Apple, because people, Apple if Apple does it, people start to move on it. There's more and more terminals open, so I use it all the time. The other thing you use it for is when I come in, I tap my phone Nexus 6 on a NFC tile, and it pairs with Bluetooth speakers. There's all sorts of things you can do with NFC like that.
Are you the kind of person like me that will actually put the card back in the wallet just to go to the phone to enable NFC to then tap to pay?
No, I always my phone out, and people make it like it's difficult. You hit the power button and you just put it over the reader, and that's it.
If you're like me and a little more security conscious, you don't roll around with NFC on all the time. You turn it on when you need it, but you don't need it very often. So maybe that's why.
Well, I mean,
that would be my first thought. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible security hole.
Okay, how many people have had their credit cards stolen from stealing the NFC signal versus credit card numbers that we've been handing over to the waiter or waitress who makes $2.13 an hour? I mean, we're worried about the off chance that somebody could read the very low power NFC signal, yet we hand our credit cards off to everybody who makes under $5 an hour.
Every time I get gas and I use my card, I always wiggle that damn thing just to make sure. It's a habit. I don't know why. I just do
Well, it's a good habit. I've had a friend hit by that, so yeah, it's a good thing to do.
Thank you for the show quote, Matt. Appreciate it.
But the other thing, though, if you use quick charging, if you start using quick charging, you'll never want to go. I mean, it's that good. Like the Nexus 6.
I'll admit that is very nice on the Nexus 6. That's like the one thing that I did not think would ever be cool, and being able to charge the phone from flat dead to practically charged in 45 minutes is amazing.
Yeah, and even in 15 minutes, you get most of the day back.
Eric, what if you plugged in the quick charger to the messed up battery on that one phone? Would it then explode?
Is it in the microwave?
It could be very easily.
I'm gonna guess no. I don't think they actually explode. I think they just wanted to. I think they just, I don't know, wanted a tax write-off or something. I don't know. How does business work? I'm not sure.
No, they wouldn't. If they wanted a tax write-off, they wouldn't do this. They donate 88,000 of them to some charity in Zimbabwe.
It probably overheats.
Wherever Eric is living.
Yeah, that's no.
Funny you should say.
Eric, a retort?
I have none. I'm retortless.
But Matt, there's something you mentioned about the Moto X and active display. The new Moto X does not have a AMOLED display. It has a regular LCD display.
Cool.
Well, I don't know. Active notifications were cool because it didn't power the whole screen.
Is that better than what this one that I have now has?
I don't know.
Oh, that's weak. So it is going to turn on all the screen.
All the pixels,
you need AMOLED for that. That sucks.
What? Can you do a screen transplant?
And it's got a big screen. It's a 520 ppi screen.
I don't need that many PPIs, personally.
Yeah. And how big is the battery?
3,000 gigawatt amps.
Gigawatts. And turbocharging is 10 hours for 15 minutes, so maybe I'll make up for it.
Yeah, one thing I'm looking through, I do not see fingerprint reading anywhere, so this is also not the phone.
It's on the Moto X.
It's on which one?
It's not on fingerprint stuff. Is not on the Moto X.
So neither of these phones will work with Android Pay. Outstanding.
No, they both will. You don't need a fingerprint to use Android Pay.
Oh, okay. Well, the ideal, Android Pay. I guess I want sort of the hold the finger, bam.
Yeah, where you authenticate a transaction using your fingerprint is what.
Right. We're really waiting for Nexus to see what Nexus comes out. But so far, if you had to choose now between the Moto X style and the OnePlus 2, you go Moto X. Gonna be a better phone.
Yeah.
And better. And I think Motorola has made a pretty good reputation of getting updates out fast, and they don't screw. Neither does OnePlus, but their update schedule. For instance, I have the I had Oxygen OS running for a while. Didn't get the 5.1 update yet. And of course, they said did they announce that there's another phone they're gonna release this year? So
a second one, a second. They haven't provided any information, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be the OnePlus 2 with NFC.
OnePlus 2 Plus.
The other thing I don't like about the OnePlus 2 is it has that fake Type-C USB connector.
Oh, yeah.
It's not USB 3.1. It's like USB 2. So you don't get any. All you get is a reversible plug. None of the cool stuff with USB 3 or 3.1, like you do with a Chromebook. Or the Nexus 7, or whatever the next phone is going to be.
Yeah.
Which will probably
Speaking of updates, not to sidetrack totally, but we've got a couple of notes here in the doc that both Samsung and Motorola are going to start fast-tracking security updates on a monthly basis, a la the Patch Tuesday on Windows platforms that we're all aware of.
And LG, HTC, and Sony have said too they will.
Good.
They haven't made any public announcement, but Google said that they're involved in the program.
Cool.
So are the carriers just going to like collect all of these until they get enough to be worthwhile to push an update, or is this going directly to the device?
They have not given out those details, but when you commit publicly to a month, you've had to have done something. But now, I think their leverage would be to the carriers. Listen, you don't know how much of malware running on your network.
Mm-hmm.
Let us do the updates.
Yeah.
You let Apple do it, so let us do it. I think maybe that's been persuasive. But the thing is, Apple doesn't guarantee monthly security updates either, and there's not a single month that goes by that your OS on your phone, tablet, or PC couldn't use a security update. You find bugs all the time. So I think this is huge. This is more like, as Joey said, Windows and Windows 10, who have not. By the way, Microsoft has not explained how they're going to bypass the carriers yet either. In their rapid release thing. So I think this is big news because
it could force the industry to change to allow this to become a standard where these kind of security updates happen more frequently for everyone. Hopefully.
Well, Chrome's doing it. Chrome does.
I think what was it, year or two ago when we were talking about how Android was going to become kind of like the de facto standard, much like the Windows PC platform was. 4, 5, 6 years ago, it had become the established de facto standard. Well, that de facto standard has all of these responsibilities, which include security updates, because if you've got 1.2 billion people using a variant of a piece of software, someone is going to write an attack, a virus, a piece of malware, something for it, because the tiny little nugget of information or charge that you can put to 1.5 billion people is a huge target if you can make it work.
Yeah.
So this is going to become our new attack vector, and I'm glad to see somebody's actually being proactive about it and trying to get ahead of the curve.
Now to be fair to all the filmmakers, they do stuff under the hood that's pretty. This is not like Windows where buffer overflows could get you anywhere. Apple and Google, and probably they do a very good job with the address relocation stuff, the sandboxing, the gatekeep. Well, I don't know what I can't remember what Android calls there. Bouncer maybe is what they call it.
Yeah.
That's, we always hear the scary stories about Android malware, but you never actually hear about it being a big deal. Even this stage fright bug, which is a bug in the media layer of the OS, went from 950 million devices could be at risk to like 10% of devices that are at risk, and those are, and their biggest, honestly, when you get to 10%, the person holding the phone is probably a bigger problem. It's probably a weaker point of security than the phone in general.
Well, you trust me, in every security certification, there we go, that exists, there is either a small or, in some cases, very large chapter on human engineering, and that is always your weakest link, because you can tell the machine something, but if you, the user, override it, it will be done. Thy will be done, so to speak. And that's always a factor. But the difference is that the human factor exists on a PC, on a Mac, on a Linux box, on a Windows phone, on your Shield exploding tablet. It doesn't matter, what device you're talking about. You still have the potential for the human security flaw, and there's nothing you can do about that. But you make the devices as usable and as secure as you possibly can. And I think that using Android being essentially a port on some level of a Linux distribution, that means that it started with a security heart, as it were, as opposed to a open heart. And that really influences the security model, which is one of the reasons why I don't think we've had as many problems as fast as otherwise. If this adoption rate had happened on Windows computers, we would have had billions of hacks by now. And it just hasn't happened on Android simply because the security model is so good by default, and it's only going to get better. And so good on you, Google, for moving that along.
And I think when you combine that with the fact that the source is open source, and they pay people to find bugs. I mean, there's the one problem with open source software it's not necessarily secure because it's open. People have to care about it for it to be secure. But if you pay people to care about it, then you get hackers who are trying to make big money, trying to the exploit. And you still need white hat hackers, because I guess somebody mentioned that the exploit. I don't know if it was Stagefright or another one, but Google paid them $1,300 or something like that. And on the black market, somebody might have paid $100,000 for that. So, but so far we have enough white hats and enough financial incentive that people are really hammering on it. You can't hammer on iOS like you can on Android.
What was its issue, Eric?
What, the actual stage fright bug?
Yeah.
It just a security exploit in the, what was it, Shane? The media playback layer?
Yeah, basically.
Media layer.
Yeah, basically someone would send you an MMS, and even without you accepting it or doing anything, it would automatically push the exploit onto your device, and from there they would essentially escalate their privileges and then execute whatever code they wanted to. That's the way I understand it. I'm not an expert on it, but it sounds pretty bad. Now, one thing I'd heard, I hadn't spent any time looking into this, but if you go into your SMS client and you turn off MMS forwarding, I think that's supposed to mitigate it to some extent, but I haven't had time to, or really I forgot to look into it, but that may be something. So I did that on my phone.
Yeah.
Auto forward to everybody.
Yeah.
First, stop that from happening.
Yeah, and you noted that MMS, it's not necessarily an MMS bug. It's that is the easiest way to deliver to people's phones without them having to do anything. If you were to download a file off the internet and try to play it, same thing would happen. But Android has some built-in sandboxing and something called the address locations are somewhat randomized.
Yeah.
So you can't always. It's not like you know exactly where your code is, so it's not really practical. It's not likely that this is being actively exploited, because it's very, very difficult to actually.
So it was kind of it was like that one bug we heard about a while ago that was just randomly sucking a chunk out of RAM and then seeing if anything happened to be in there. If not, going to the next one. It kind of sounds like that's what it's doing.
Oh, Heartbleed?
Yeah.
Well. Was it address? Can't remember. It's like ASLR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that technology, which is I think in iOS, Windows, Android, it just prevents buffer overflow attacks.
Correct.
We used to have in the past.
Address space layout randomization.
Yeah. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult
like
to.
That for your memories. Nice. So nothing to worry about. Good deal. Free Alexa from the Echo or some Sony concept firmware? You pick.
Talking Moto G.
All right, how about Alexa? Let's go with Alexa.
Okay, Eric, tell us about Alexa from the Amazon Echo.
Yes, so I'm going to keep saying Alexa, and it's probably going to activate Alexa somewhere over in that room.
Alexa, like that crappy search engine that uses the toolbars. Is that what we're talking about here?
No, you're getting confused. Alexa is the little person that lives inside of the Amazon Echo, the little tubular thingy that. Echo. You don't know? No?
No.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's rewind. So Amazon released this thing called the Amazon Echo, and it looks like a giant toilet paper roll. But in fact, it contains much information, and you can talk to it, and you can say, Alexa, play Attack of the Androids, and it will play Attack of the Androids. Or you could say, Alexa, play my book, and it will play your Audible audiobook.
What is this black magic you speak of?
I'm telling you, Matt Lee, it's the greatest thing to happen in my life. It's like my little digital wife. It's amazing.
Echo was a movie, right?
That was Earth to Echo.
Oh, okay. But that thing was named Echo.
I think so. I didn't watch it.
Okay, is anyone else worried about Eric's actual wife discovering his electronic wife and
Echo?
beating the snot out of it?
Haven't you ever seen Sister Wives? They're getting along fine.
Attaboy.
Yeah, they're getting along just fine.
Just
fine. Sure. Okay.
Echo.
Right.
Echo.
Well, this story is basically that Amazon has created a, I believe they're referring to it as an SDK, but basically a way that you can take that Alexa logic and you could throw it into, your device, or you could put hooks into your app. So it's freeing it from this.
With you. Huh.
You can bring Alexa with you. Echo's still going to stay on your kitchen table.
Why would you want to do this as opposed to OK Google and Hey Siri?
I think it's just another competitor. I will say that the experience with the Echo is outstanding.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's really quick at picking up and responding and doing stuff. So I've got a coworker that has it and uses it quite a lot.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but being a dedicated piece of hardware that essentially does only audio playback and voice recognition, this thing has got to be fairly powerful compared to being a sub-feature of a phone that's doing 1,600 other things.
Yeah, it's a dedicated device for that, and it mimics a Bluetooth speaker in terms of its, functionality. So you can play music on it, etc. So
I don't think it's any more powerful than an Android TV or a Apple TV.
No.
No, it's doing the same thing. I mean, Xboxes do this. Like, there's a lot of devices that do this sort of like always listening type thing, and I think that modern hardware can handle it pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, the device is like what, $100 device if you have Android Prime, Amazon Prime, right? Is that it?
It used to be. When it first launched, it was $99, and now I think you can get it for $179.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I like gadgets and everything, but this is just one of those things that I'm sorry. It's too expensive for what it does.
I think that $99 was fine. $179 is too much.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, $99 for a lot of people, that's under $100. They can do that in kind of an aggravated impulse buy. $180. I mean, you can buy for $180, $189, whatever. You're in the $200 range. You can go get a lot of stuff for $200 that will do more than just answer your audio responses.
Yeah, I still feel it's not like I think it's listening or anything like that, but it's more like it might just pick something up that I don't mean and just become a pest. I mean, at least with the phone, I generally have the OK Google stuff turned on, but even then, you have to be relatively close, and it's something very. I'm intending to do something. I can't get past the Echo where like. It's just like it would pick up random parts of conversations or something on the TV and just start doing something.
My question is how safe is that? Like, not at all, right? You can easily assume that at any point the NSA or anyone else wants to tap into listening to your room, that thing becomes an always-on amplifier, speaker, microphone, and
bingo. And you don't even have to be a tinfoil.
I want to be a conspiracy one, but
well, no, you don't have to be to understand if the thing is always listening for voice commands and it's always on. I mean, that doesn't take a rocket scientist.
There are phones and stuff, and I get that. It just seems like this kind of standalone device from Amazon would be far easier to backdoor than my Moto X. But who knows?
It probably is, and still, like, at least with the phone, you're actively doing it. You're not just...
Right. And you can install apps to kind of sniff traffic and see exactly what's being transmitted, if it's being transmitted that way, and all that, if you're that annoyed.
And Eric, just ask me, like, how annoying is it for your wife to hear you going, "Okay, Alexa, what is the weather like? Okay, Alexa, play rock music."
Like, and I don't have to say, "Okay, Alexa." I can just say, and I don't even have to pause. I can just say, "Alexa, what's the weather like today?" She tells me. "Alexa, play my book." "Alexa, play Jimi Hendrix." Like, it's really, really easy. It's great.
So I have this image of Eric and his wife late at night.
Whoa!
And all of a sudden,
whoa!
Screams out, "Alexa!"
Whoa!
Lights, Alexa.
And then it just gets weird at that point.
No. Shh.
Love is never weird, Joey.
I will you.
Eric, you and your wife were born on the exact same day, right?
Sister wives. Love can get weird.
Speaking of sister wives, Eric, you and your wife were born on the exact same day, right? And you have the same last
day,
name?
1 year apart. We have the same last name now that we're married.
So
I don't think that. Hey, love will find a way.
Yes, most people that get married have the same last name.
So do sisters, that's all I'm saying.
Eric, tell me about the Windows 98 running on an iPhone 6 Plus. Go.
God, I did not put this. Whoever put this in the doc, you need to tell us. Okay, you, Joey, go.
About
all right, so iPhone
running on an iPhone 6 Plus. Go.
Yes, this falls under stupidest mods ever. This guy in where was it? On a Chinese tech forum, got Windows 98 running in a DOS emulator on his iPhone 6 Plus. Of course, it doesn't run very well. It mostly blue screens, reboots, and tries again because it's trying to make sense of hardware that I've never thought of.
Hey, hater, shh. What have you done? What have you got running on what?
I've got a phone that works as a phone.
Yeah.
Not as an antiquated OS from 1999.
Hey, hater. So did he. Have you gotten Tetris running on a TI? Hater? Have you gotten
I have Subkiller.
See?
I got Subkiller running on a TI-83 Plus.
Running on a watch? No.
I have a graphical user interface for my TI-83 Plus calculator.
I'm just saying, between you and Shane, like, the haterade in here is palpable. I want to ask Shane real quick, what impressed you out of this whole lineup of BS in our show doc? Perhaps Google Fiber?
No, because I won't get Google Fiber. I actually like the Unlock Moto G was the most impressive thing on that list.
Really? The Unlock Moto G? That sounds good. Sounds real good.
What's so impressive about it, Shane?
That the
Windows 98.
It probably could.
Actually, it's running the Amiga OS.
No, I just think it's great that good phones with. I mean, it has the Nexus 5 camera, which was a good camera.
Yeah. That's probably going to be my next phone.
I think it's great that a phone that's customizable, you can really personalize, can be a really good phone for $220 that you own outright, which is, a pretty good deal. And if I were to drop this Nexus 6 in the lake or something, I'd probably just go out and get a Moto G for a while. It's a good phone. I mean, it's a really good phone, and it's not a really good phone for the price. It's a really good phone that happens to be very cheap. And I think, and for all the money and time that people spend, or they talk about iPhone's beautiful design, almost everybody puts a case on it. So the fact that you can customize a Moto G, I think it's pretty cool. And I always wonder if I should just get one just to have a backup phone. No, I think I'm impressed. I was impressed with the original Moto G, to be honest. I had that, and I was really impressed with how good that phone ran for the price. And so, I mean, this is the phone like I tell my parents, just get this phone, get it, and go on Cricket or something like that. It'd be the cheapest cell phone you can get. It does way more than that piece of garbage they give you for free.
Yeah.
So I think. I'm just impressed at how good phones can be at that price range now. Like, they're not garbage.
And I have a Moto G that I was using under Republic Wireless until I got my Nexus 6 with Project Fi. And from the standpoint of it being a phone, I had no problems with it. Android OS worked fine. Apps worked fine.
Actually, MB in the chat says that he has actually never put a case on his iPhone. Just want to let you know, Shane.
Well, that's great. Go to Best Buy and tell me how many cases they have there.
The second, the store associate sees you pull out a naked iPhone, they're like...
Actually, regulations on indecent iPhone exposure.
I mean,
you gotta put a case on that, son. Tell you what, you ain't gonna allow your kind in here no more. We're gonna want you to put a case on that there phone. You know, they seem decent.
No case, no service.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys ever talk about Project 5 since Joey has it?
Let's talk about Project 5. Do you also have it, Shane?
I don't, but I have an invite. Like, I can get it, and I have the Nexus 6, so it's just a matter of me.
Are you going to get it? Will you get it right now live on this show?
Here's the thing. I have a 20 gig.
Here's the thing. Let me hate on it first, and then I'll tell you.
I got in on a really good promotion on Cricket Wireless. So I have a 20 gig data plan for like $65 a month, which is way, way cheaper than what Project Fi can do for me. And I've been using a lot more bandwidth because I've been going a lot of walks with the dogs and taking pictures, and I just upload them directly to Google Photos from wherever I am. So I'm using 5 or 6 gigs of data a month.
How many damn pictures are you taking?
Okay. Well,
holy crap.
Hang on.
As many as we can while one of them is still here.
I understand. That's just a lot.
Dude. I am a member of Aunt Pruitt's Smartphone Photographers Google group, in addition to which I take a lot of pictures that have nothing to do with artistic stuff, just informational things I need to do, serial numbers, stuff like that. Not a single one of those pictures in a raw, unedited, or unshrunk format ever leaves the phone over anything other than Wi-Fi.
Well, your Wi-Fi probably has a better upload speed than I do. I have terrible upload speed.
10x1.
All right, well, my LTE is 7x3, so...
Well, yeah, but my point being that, look, I have Carbonite Mobile on the phone for backup, Google Photos for backup, and Dropbox that are all uploading my photos continuously. They're all set for Wi-Fi only. I am using, last month, I used 0.33 gigs of data on Project Fi. If photos are your big thing, just set them all to upload on Wi-Fi.
His Wi-Fi sucks, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, but the point is, it's faster to do it on... I have so many gigs of data that I can just upload it. But remember, I'm not paying a whole lot for it. I'm paying like the...
I do the same thing too, because my DSL here, the upload speed is awful.
Yeah, and I have...
when no one else is using it, is way faster.
And I have 20 gigs of data. What is that in Project Fi? A couple $100 a month?
It's $10 a gig. So yeah, it'd be $200 a month. But my point being, well, my point is that you don't have to do that on your using your bandwidth. You have another way to do it. It's not, you're choosing not to, and I get why you're doing it, but I'm just saying that you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, for all practical purposes, when I come home from a walk and I have a couple hundred megs of photos and videos, nothing is worse than waiting for it to upload over Wi-Fi and trying to work when I get buffer bloat. So I'd rather just ever since I got this really big deal, I just turn off the Wi-Fi and just upload it over LTE. And the thing is, I have to be on LTE. You have to have an LTE device to get this promotional price I'm on. So it just works out. It just works out really well.
What is this promotional price? I want to know what 20 gigs goes for in Kansas City.
I'm on Cricket Wireless, so it's not Kansas City. They had a deal where, for a limited time, if you had an LTE device, they upgraded you to 20 gigs a month.
For how much?
Just like upgrade you for what? Doesn't matter what you're doing.
I pay $65 a month, Joey, for 20 gigs. Unlimited everything else. And no contract either. I'm not on a contract.
What?
We own all our phones. We will not go on contracts. We own all our phones outright.
All right, so I can't touch that.
That's the American dream right there, my friend. You're
living.
I want to believe.
T-Mobile and Sprint suck where I live. AT&T and Verizon are awesome. So, I'm kind of stuck with Project Fi. It's tempting because it sounds cool, but I don't think I get any advantages out of it.
What's Cricket? Is that an AT&T MVNO?
Yeah. It used to be AO Wireless, and then they bought Cricket and rebranded everything as Cricket Wireless. So
Singular. Singular.
Yeah, I remember Singular before they became Verizon.
Is that what?
No, they became AT&T.
I thought they were Cricket. I'm confused. What is this question? I got a question. What is this obstruction-free photography? Just real quick. Anyone?
Oh yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah. I didn't put the story in there, but it's pretty cool. I saw the video on it. Basically, it's an algorithm that's used when you're using like a smartphone. You could basically take a bunch of pictures like through a glass and say there's a glare between, that is visible on the glass. What the algorithm does is it basically allows you to separate the glare from the image beyond the glass to where you can look at just the image without all that glare, or you can actually just look at the glare itself and see what is the glare. So it's a great way of eliminating glare from pictures. Not only that, but you can eliminate things like you're looking at a fence, and beyond the fence, like one of those wire fences, beyond the fence is what you want to take a picture of. You basically take several of these pictures in a row, and it basically allows you to eliminate the fence and see everything that was behind it as if there was no fence in front of it. And then consequently, you could also get it to where you just see the fence itself. And it's really breathtaking. It's like a 6-minute video that this company or person put out.
This is Photosphere, basically. It's just like stitching a bunch of...
Well, it's like that, but it's also very similar to, let's say you're taking a picture and someone walks in front of the picture. It basically allows you to get rid of that. Well, it's the same kind of concept applied with, I guess, a different algorithm. Maybe a similar algorithm, but it eliminates things like glare. So
I swear that there was a Google Plus Vic Condrota presentation about Google AotA where they showed this off of people moving in and out of pictures and disappearing. And I don't know. I mean, I don't. Has never happened to me where I've noticed that picture. But I swear this used to be built into Google Plus Photos.
I've noticed it do that for some of mine. It'll say like AotA, and you'll be like, well, what was AotA?
Yeah, HTC and Nokia, or Nokia, however you say it, I recall in the past they've had similar demos where you can basically get rid of people that enter into the picture because it's taking multiple pictures before and after you actually take it, and then it automatically does it. So it's probably something very similar to that, but it's a different application. So.
Yeah, but that is pretty cool.
That's
Much
one of
like
those things that
always listening, always watching you, and then just stitching your pictures together.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the first things I've seen in a long time that actually makes me go, okay, this could revolutionize photography.
Yeah.
A lot of what we see in photography is refinement, more megapixels, more features, more filters, more pull junk out, make your pictures look better, do better color correction, yak, face recognition, stuff that on a certain level is gimmicky, but this could really improve a lot of people's photography. And I have been in situations where there literally was no way to take a picture without the fence in the way, and you really desperately didn't want the fence there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a whole new field. What they call computational photography. I think it'd be under that umbrella. But I think that color correction stuff, Joey, I think that's important because most people take. I mean, Google will take your photo, and almost always you can turn to something awesome. I post a lot of. I HDR scape the hell out of almost anything I take in the park because I love the way it looks. But the photos I don't always share, like there's a lot of cool stuff that it does with black and white and all sorts of vignettes and stuff like that. So it's come up with some really good panoramas or photosphere. I guess mainly panoramas. That is incredible how well Google does that.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I've seen that technology applied to having a bit larger picture, like the Oppo. Can't remember which phone it was. Find 7 maybe, where like you would take multiple pictures and it would basically stitch together like a 50 megapixel picture out of multiple pictures without being the actual panorama.
The thing about Google is I just look somewhere, I just go, don't even really care about it. They would be a complete mess, and usually Google put it together and look at a coherent picture. Like I can't believe they lined up that leaf and that log. I mean, just they do a really good job with it.
I'm just happy that I can finally get a good picture of a chain link fence.
Without all that stuff in the way or behind it, geez.
Yeah, for all of the illegal immigrants that want to remember crossing the fence, they now have the perfect way to take that picture for their future album
Right.
We're all illegal immigrants, dude. Come on.
All right,
I was
if you
born here,
tweet
dude.
at Joey at sandpvrr. Do not send that to show@attackoftheandroids.com. We will delete it.
Joey fixes computers. Joey fixes borders.
Joey flips out borders.
I noticed there's this big hole. Let's see if we can patch it up.
Speaking of big holes, what is up with the smartwatch cyber hole security thing? And then let's
That's your segue for smartphone.
goddamn right it was. Gaping hole in cyber security. Gaping.
Done.
So anyone?
I don't even. Where is it? Okay, there it is.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It sounds
The
like crap
basic
to me.
premise, this is one that I threw in here too. This is actually from last week
Sure.
that we didn't do.
Through it.
Basically, the short version is that the watches, a lot of them do not have any kind of encryption between the phone and the watch.
What?
Also,
It's Bluetooth 18 LE. That's secure as all hell.
you say one thing, the security people say something else. A lot of Bluetooth security, of course, is based upon the combination, the key code that you use to sync the devices, and a lot of them are, 0000 or 99999 or something like that. So you store 11111 or, anyway. So they, if you start hacking with that kind of thing in mind, you can actually potentially gain access to the device, or not the device, but the relationship between the phone and the watch.
Man, in the middle of that biz.
Yeah, but I mean, you can do the same. It's like, is that the same with Bluetooth keyboards? I mean, this doesn't seem something very specific to smartwatches.
Anything Bluetooth.
Yes and no. I think it's partially because of the smartwatches are such a exploding market, supposedly. There was another thing that we had, I think it was last show, actually, that they came out with that 76% of the smartwatch market, they figure, has already been taken by Apple, and there won't be that big of an explosion in a market which is essentially an extension of a phone, and a very expensive extension of a phone at that.
I don't buy that, but
Is it because it has access to all of your important phone data, like contacts and whatnot, whereas a keyboard might necessarily not?
Correct.
You type keyboard loggers. You swipe passwords.
Yeah, but that's different than sucking down all of your contacts.
And say the data itself, like let's say you have a conversation and you're looking at your phone, that being.
What I'm saying is, it doesn't seem to me to be any more of a. I don't think there's this is any more of a security leak than.
No, it's all DEF CON hype hacks.
Well, I think it's a little bit more of a security leak than, say, for instance, a keyboard or a speakerphone running Bluetooth. I mean, you could potentially embarrass somebody pretty badly with hacking into their keyboard and making them type stuff that they didn't type, or hacking into their smartphone speaker and talking to them or from them with your voice or whatever. That would be embarrassing and whatnot. But the watch is able to interface on a much lower and more complete level, with all your contact info, potentially reading and writing your text messages. There's a lot of information that's passing back and forth there potentially.
What about the example they use as your refrigerator wanting more juice? And you open that refrigerator door, and you know what? There's already juice in there. Yeah.
So much damn juice in there.
You verified the juice. You've closed the door, and then guess what? Yeah, it beeps again, and it's like, I need more juice.
And by the way, this was done at a very large sample size of 10.
10. Sure.
I don't know. This just seems like
we're just trying to scare.
Well, I don't quite buy the Bluetooth thing, because if you have a keyboard, the Bluetooth pairing code might be permanently set to like 0001111.
Whoa!
Sorry, am I giving out your password?
Whoa! Jesus.
But on a smartwatch, it's randomized.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert,
like
man.
every time I pair to something that has an actual screen, it's randomized. And they say, you look at your phone and it says, confirm that this number matches that number.
I think pairing is not easy actually with a smartwatch. It's not like you just tap them together and boom. It's actually You have to work through it.
Well, I guess
HP is trying to sell. They're trying to sell during DEF CON week when everybody's, they're all wetting themselves from all this like proof of concept security crap. I'm with Shane. I don't buy this. I truly do not.
If you're going to DEF CON, would you say leave the smartwatch at home, maybe, just to not be sheepish about things?
I have to see if there are a lot of pickpockets there, but
A lot of.
I mean, Bluetooth to LE does also not extend that far. I mean, somebody would basically have to be sitting next to you or trailing you the entire time.
But if it got boosted.
Boost what?
Signal. Yeah, repeaters, bro. Signal.
Well, there's also a way to focus. Can't remember the technology, but there's a way to focus in on that. It doesn't have to be that strong to be picked up.
Informing.
Yeah.
Well, if maybe in the future Google will roll out their nearby API, and then maybe they'll be a little more secure.
In the future, we'll all be inside a little walking.
The watch will
cage.
just be grafted onto our wristbands.
Somebody's gonna hack your brain.
Well, it's ironic that we're talking about that because I got link baited from that article over to something else on the same website called
Don't spread that shit. No. I do want to mention, though, cars getting hacked. That is possible and hackable. So.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Speaking of cars.
Yes.
Yes, I'm grabbing onto this segue. The car part is less important, but absolutely cool. A Chinese company has taken the Tesla S and kind of reworked it, but they've placed a large display in the front where the grille would be, and they have it set up to, by default, make the scanner symbol from Knight Rider from the 80s, and they have the entire car controlled by a variant of the Android operating system, and it is called Kit OS.
Is it based on 2.2.2.3?
5, actually.
I'm sure it's fully licensed, too.
Doesn't have to be, it's Android.
Licensed to ill.
Kit, I'm pretty sure that Kit needs to, and Knight Rider has to be licensed.
Well, they're China. I'm pretty sure they don't care.
Does it have a soundboard too, or do they have the voice?
Oh no! It doesn't have any of that. It's not like it's a direct knockoff.
If it doesn't have the sound, it doesn't count.
A light board, LEDs.
Well, what they're saying is that you can program it to do pretty much anything you want, including displaying other car companies' logos on the front of the car.
I'll have to bring the haterade on this, but controlling LEDs with computers kind of been done before.
Last year, huh?
No, it's not an LED. It's an LCD display.
Oh,
it's like
sorry. Computers controlling LCD displays.
But Shane, you're missing the point that it's a display in the shape of the hood of your car.
Rectangular LCD screens?
Yes.
No. It's where the grill would be. It's like right on the front. So you're going down the road, and it's displaying the scanner from Kit, or it could even, if you could program it to do it fast enough, you could have it change over to say "move over, idiot" and backwards, and have them read that in their rearview mirror.
What if you programmed it to do something super useful, like watch the fuck out for deer or something? Like, is that possible?
Well,
all the deer in China are dead.
Here's something that would be pretty cool. Here's something that would be pretty cool. You know how we were talking earlier about Alexa and having hooks into that? Well, put that in the car and then give it that voice of that guy that does Kit's voice, and then you have it. So
that guy died like a long time ago. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure there's plenty of recordings out there of him.
I think he died recently. I think it's recent.
It wasn't a long time ago. I know that much. Of course, it does give you the unfortunate thing of feeling like your car is going to one day, you're going to sit down and you're going to hit the start button, and then it's going to look over, and there's going to be this single red eye, and it's going to say, "I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that." And it's going, "What?
Well,
open the pod bay doors, Hal." "I'm sorry."
Well, since that was named Dave, I would assume you're in someone else's car, and it shouldn't do anything for you.
Yeah, why are you stealing cars?
Leave Dave alone.
Leave Dave alone. All right.
Shut down the
franchise.
All right, I'm going to, Eric. What's our email address?
Our email address is show@attackoftheandroids.com.
Excellent. Attackoftheandroids.com is where you can find the show notes as soon as Eric gets around to posting them. And make sure to email all that hate mail to him and Joey. We're on Stitcher. We're on iTunes. Leave us a review if it's good. If not, don't waste your time. Who cares? And, we'll catch you probably next week or something. Thanks for listening. Have a great evening.
Bye.